So I saw Janet a few months ago, and she gave me a copy.
Most of you read this already.
And the next day, I went to East New York, and I was substitute teaching. And the teacher at the time needed a moment. He stepped out, and so I was left with a room of kids, about 35 second graders. And I took the book out of my bag, and I just started reading it to them. And I had their attention instantly. It was like I was dancing or something. Like they literally, I had all of their presence right here. And when I finished the book, one of the kids said to me, "Oh, you should make a YouTube channel, reading this book to kids. Like we'll watch it." And I was like, "All right." So from that, I created a YouTube channel called Storytime with Miss Humphrey, and this is the first book that I read. And it's on YouTube, so that kids can watch it for free. And we've done a few other books since then. And actually, since then, we have some friends at BronxNet, and there's a show on BronxNet called Edulution, and now Storytime with Miss Humphrey is on Edulution in BronxNet. So I'll keep you posted when Coney Island Awakes will be on Edulution, hopefully on an episode very soon. Yeah. So here it is, Coney Island Awakes. A Phoenix Arises. Words and Images by Janet Morgan. Coney Island. Coney Island is on the south shore of Brooklyn. It's a place where city folk touch the ocean and feel the vastness of the sky. It has a wild and crazy history. Entire amusement parks burned to the ground and then were built anew. They rose like the mythical bird, the phoenix, being reborn out of the ashes again and again. Through colossal destruction and construction, times of difficulty and times of joy, Coney has always been full of life. Untold amounts of money, skill, and artistry poured into the making people gasp, scream, and sigh. From the giant Elephant Hotel to the Dreamland's blazing lights, it has recreated itself again and again. This is the tale of one such rebirth. In March of 2020, the COVID-19 quarantine in Brooklyn was extreme. For people without cars and wary of public transportation, life was very limited. In August, we finally started riding the subway again, and going down to a quiet Coney Island was a real treat. All the rides sat silent for a whole year. The collection of fishermen, homeless people, and locals felt like an odd post-apocalyptic community. Everyone was very chatty when we were drawing, and I heard a lot of stories. And not only people told stories. During its year of sleep, Coney Island nourished us. We needed a place to expand our mind, body, and spirit out of our cramped apartments. We needed space. We needed wings. Coney Island gave us these things. After months of isolation, we finally arrived at Ocean's Edge. The long pier let us out over the waves, filling our eyes with sky and sea. Fishermen gathered along the long arm of the pier, conversations and radios playing. If we kept traveling south, way past that bit of New Jersey out there, we could be in Cuba, a place full of music and art and color, just like Coney Island. These were mysterious, quiet days, lulled by waves. The rides stood silently by. There were days full of soft breezes and the cries of laughing gulls overhead. Waves lapped onto the sand and curled coldly around our feet. There were days of fog and mist, the colors at dusk subtle. The ocean breathed every breath with us. Sitting in the sand, drying on the beach, brought the curious, human and otherwise. Looking inland, the Thunderbolt roller coaster stretched himself into the sky, dreaming of the adrenaline to come, when he could once again give to us the gift of fear and flight. The parachute jump rose into the blue above the clouds. She crackled and communicated on a level I could only sense, trying to wake up those around her. She asked questions of the crane, nudged the Thunderbolt, and tickled the sleepy carousel horses. Sometimes the conversations, the jump started with the Thunderbolt and the Wonder Wheel, were like a good Brooklyn argument, the banter going back and forth across the sky, mixed with laughter. They would have slapped each other on the shoulders if they had them. They missed the humans, though. Other times, the jump just tried to silently outshine everybody else. Some days, she tried to help the athletes pull harder and jump higher. Did they notice? Other days, she played shy and tried to hide inconspicuously beside the moon. Then one day, she started to speak to me as I searched for shade. She mused, "Sometimes my memories start to rise up from my being. They overtake me and send me